Like and subscribe right now, and Bitcoin people make you rich. See, I told you I met Obama. Just watched a kid in my apartment lobby get excited about seeing his dad outside, run face first into the glass panel, and crack it. 4-year-old. I wrote a story in my notebook. Me. What's it about? 4. I don't know. I can't read. Preschool problems. The 6-year-old flatty refused to believe that we used to navigate using maps made out of paper. You mean like pirates? When I was 6 I went to summer camp. I spelled Thursday wrong in my letter home and cried every night thinking my mom wouldn't pick me up on time. Poor child. 7-year-old. Can I go to my friend's house? He wrote down his address. Me. He just wrote down his house number. He didn't write down the street. 7. How many streets can there be? My friend's little cousin drew this. Nigger tittle. My diary as a little kid. Apparently I took stranger danger very seriously. My diary. My name. Amy. My address. Can't say out loud on here. My phone. Can't say it. It's okay. No worries. She just wanted a little bath. Once had to shave my head because of a haircut accident. Kids went crying to mom asking why daddy was going to prison. Good bath there, kid. My daughter insists I hide behind this tree while she counts to 10 to play hide and seek. Every time. Modern names of the quadrilateral. Name the quadrilateral. 1. Bob. 2. Sam. 3. Harry. 4. Teddyson. 5. Kate. When I was very young I learned that humans had about 5 liters of blood in their bodies, but I didn't know we could produce blood, so every time I got an injury and bled I got more and more scared that I would run out of blood to the point I started counting how much blood I had lost. I'm counting every drop of my blood. My 2-year-old is a beast when we are playing hide and seek. He ceased the ability to even, right in the middle of the shop. Stupid kids can't even spell. My kid found this in her middle school bathroom. He can't find his red ball to play with it. While driving the kids to school. Me. Remember to eat all your vegetables. They'll make you big and strong. My 5-year-old daughter. Daddy, I want big strong nipples. Me. When I was a kid I thought long-necked dinosaurs went extinct because their necks were so long that they starved before food got to their stomachs. Pretty sure it doesn't. When you just can't wait. Before I could read, I thought books had just a bunch of squiggly lines and add-ons just knew what they said. It didn't help that books are shown this way on TV. I once got a journal for the future and spent hours drawing squiggles on every line, thinking I was writing a great book. Needless to say, I was devastated when my dad told me it said nothing. When I was in pre-K I overheard the teacher telling my friend that she was ready for kindergarten, and I got sad because I thought that kindergarten was an actual garden and they drove you out to the middle of nowhere so you could tend a garden or something. I wanna buy a lion on the internet and have it eat you. My 4-year-old son went trying to avoid having his teeth brushed. Let it snow inside. When I was 9 I was tired of brushing my teeth, but still wanted my breath to smell good. I grabbed a perfume sitting around in my room and sprayed it in my mouth. Needless to say it wasn't a pleasant experience. Do you have stupid? Once when I was little I was playing outside at my grandparents' house, but I had to take a bump. So my big brain thought I could peep outside and have them think it was the dogs. Right in the middle of me peeping, my grandpa saw. Busted. Have fun pulling it out. When I was a kid I couldn't tell the difference between 2 of my neighbors' names, the Stantons and the Andersons. So when my mom asked me to take a cabbage to our next door neighbors, the Andersons, I instead tried to walk 4 blocks to the Stantons. Of course I couldn't cross the busy street, but I also couldn't go home with the undelivered cabbage. So I just sat on the curb and cried until my family decided I had been kidnapped and rounded up the whole neighborhood to find me. I think they were disappointed they didn't get to murder my imagined kidnappers, but even more disappointed by my obvious inability to think of any solution other than bawling on the street. Shame. I just had my 9-year sister scream at me because I told her she was wrong. She said she had been to school for 10 years, and I quote, because I went to kindergarten, and she was very obnoxious about it. Kid causing a traffic jam at Legoland. So our 3-year-old used this vent to pee in. The vent was sealed in when the floor was done. Could anyone recommend a service or handyman that can come get us access or clean this out? It's the devil's breath when you turn on the heat or air conditioner. What the comment section of Police Cat looks like. Beluga. Police Cat avatar oblexopadet. Beluga. Ducking cat. Beluga. How do you spell second? Me. You know how to sound it out. We do not lie here. I do not know how to sound it out. Proceeds to sound it out. My children. When I was 7. I wanted to have glasses. So I just tried to stare at the TV for 3.5 hours because I thought it could get me glasses. You fool. You foolish fool. I work as a cleaner and a dad and a kid walk into a restroom I was cleaning. This kid is probably old enough to be in middle school. Kid asked his dad, is he a grown up or something? Referring to me, kid's dad. Of course he is. Kid asks me, what do you do? Me, well I clean the restrooms and. Kid, no. Do you go to the grocery store? Me, yay. I go to the grocery store. Can we eat just a little bit? This is what happens when a 2-year-old boy discovers gravity and an open foyer. After a family vacation, me and a missus decided to surprise the kids to some McDonald's. My 3-year-old gasped and shouted, picnic house, cause he didn't know the word for restaurant or McDonald's. My daughter watching Cocomelin's Boo Boo song and imitating all the injuries. I'm kicking my ace, do ya mind? So when I was a child we went to a vehicle museum and they told us to be a vehicle, and then I was a penguin. They told me that's not a vehicle. I said I know I wanted to be a penguin. I did whatever I wanted and didn't care. My daughter just ran to me and said it's spicy after eating this. I'm stupid as duck. Last week I went to Aldi with my mom to buy stuff. I found an aloe plant and took a piece off to keep. It reminded me of the one time I drank an aloe drink. I remember it tasting good, so my 15-year-old dumbass decided it was a good idea to click the plant. It left my mouth burning, and it tasted nasty. I was spitting all over to get the taste out of my mouth. There could have been chemicals sprayed on it to keep it fresh, so I could have ingested something toxic. I was at Spanish class and the teacher said to name common Spanish last names, and one of my classmates literally said Casa Grande LMAO. Remembering the time I killed my balloon. One time back in 1st grade I had gotten this green balloon from somewhere. I don't really remember where I got from. When the end of the day came rolling around the corner, I was blowing the balloon and it popped in my face and I started to cry. Like ugly crying. Snot coming out the nose and screeching like a lunatic. I was still crying when my class got outside waiting for our rides to come. While I was waiting I decided to bury my balloon in the dirt and grass, using a piece of broken glass as a tombstone, while singing a song. Well, I mean I tried to sing, but since I was still crying really hard the only thing you heard was hicks, sobs, and mumbling. But yeah, RIP. Green balloon. My son was too scared to sleep. Frank is his lovies. I told the other night to draw what he was scared about. Here he is dead with both Frank is looking over him. He said it didn't make him feel better. Children are the best fundraisers because they don't understand economics. Principal, the student who raises $500 for the school will get this free hat. 12-year-old me. That is such a great deal. 3. Mommy, I don't want dinner. Me, I'm not making dinner. I'm making you a big snack. 3. Yay, snacks. Whenever I get discouraged and want to quit something, I remember the words of my then 3-year-old after she puked carrots all over the living room floor. I'm gonna need more carrots. My son bet me that he could make a piece of paper fly farther than I could, so he spent 10 minutes making the fanciest paper airplane I've ever seen. The look on his face when I crumpled mine into a ball and launched it across the house was priceless. Snacks to be a loser LMAO. Apparently my 9-year-old nephew wanted permission to make a Facebook account and my sister was like, no, you're 9, and then he figured out how to make one behind her back and got caught immediately when he sent her a friend request. 6-year-old. Daddy, how long does it take to count to 1 million? After breaking out the TI-85. Dad, if you count one number per second, it would take you a little over 11.5 days. 6-year-old. What if I start at 100? Kids are the best, man. They get all shocked when you figure out they did something wrong, like, Mom, how do you know I colored on the table? Because you wrote your ducking name on it. Remembering when I was 7 and found out that showers instead of baths saved water, so then filled the bath up with the shower head to save my parents money LMAO. He wants to get on the bus on the TV. When I was little I learned what schizophrenia was from TV, and for a while I was really afraid because I thought I had it since I always heard my own voice in my head, so finally I told a doctor and he informed me that what I was experiencing was called thinking. My 3-year-old angry because the beavers keep chomping on the tree. Was on the bus the other day and 2 kids about 10 were in front of me. One of them said that his parents won't let him get a dog, so he used to stare at the sun to try make himself blind so he could get a guide dog. No doubt he was waffling, but you have to admire his imagination. My 7-year-old staring at my face. Me, what is it, sweetie? My 7-year-old, is my nose weird? 2. Kids are delightful. OMG, I just joined my nephew's IG live and he goes, that's my gay uncle everyone. I don't know why he feels the need to tell everyone that constantly lol. My 6-year-old. I figured out the tablet password and bypassed all the parental controls to download all my shows and reset the password so only I can use it. Also my 6-year-old. Help. I put both legs in the same pant hole and I'm stuck. My dad was tired or having to cut the crust off my bread when I was a kid, so one day he gives me my PB&J with the crust still on it. When I tell him that it's wrong because it has the crust, he responds, but don't you want to be a good whistler? At the time I hadn't learned to whistle yet. He went on, think about it, you don't eat your crust and you can't whistle. I do eat my crust and I can whistle. I gasp, that's true. And from that day on I ate my crust. And yes, I'm a good whistler now. When I was 8, I had an older YouTube channel with like 3 subscribers. Once I hit 5 subscribers I was gonna do a fan meetup, and I put my actual address in the description of the video. I tried to be nice and gave this little kid $20 for orange juice and his orange juice stand, and he called me stupid cause it was only $1. Duck my life. When I was 9 I got the food slapped out of my mouth for calling my 12-year-old sister a C-lot at the dinner table. She dropped a fork or something, so many smart ace says nice one C-lot. My mom apparently had no idea I had confused the word with klutz. A tip to new parents. 3-year-olds will lock you out of the house in the snow without remorse and will think it's the funniest thing that's ever happened in the history of the world. 5-year-old. Daddy, stop talking to me. Me. Okay, I won't talk to you. 5-year-old. I said don't talk to me. Me. 5-year-old. You need to say okay. Me. 5-year-old. Runs away screaming and crying. He needs to say okay that he won't talk to me. Parenting. Took our kids to a restaurant for the first time in over a year. As my 6-year-old crouched in her chair, eating a burger patty like a feral child, and my 4-year-old tried to remove her pants and painted her face with ketchup, it occurred to me that maybe we weren't ready to re-enter society. Toddler left looking like Pennywise after putting hair removal cream on her head. Children ages 3 to 5 are truly something else. I'm a tour guide, and at one point on my tour I ask if anyone has any questions, and today a girl immediately yells out, "Have you ever killed someone?" and other bodies in the walls. In 2019, I took my 2-year-old to a restaurant. She asked why people kept going to the doors near us. I explained that's the potty. She proceeded to loudly ask every patron who walked by, "Are you peepin'?" I could not stop here, and on their way back she'd shout, "Did you peep?" Was at Michael's and this girl was staring longingly at the stuffed animals and says, "I wish I was still a kid," and her dad next to her goes, "You're 10. My 4-year-old took a bite out of all of the muffins to determine his favorite. The verdict: banana nut. They were all banana nut. My 8-year-old in the car today. "Do you want me to throw the confetti in my pocket?" Me. "No, not in the car." "Why do you have confetti in your pocket?" 8-year-old. "It's my emergency confetti. I carry it everywhere in case there is good news." All my childhood pictures are ruined because my stupid ace thought it was funny to be the Undertaker, so 70% of my old photos are like this. For someone I've had to physically restrain from eating dog shit, my son is awfully particular about which grapes he's going to eat. I was in a class Zoom call when there was a faint thud in the background. My teacher peered off screen for a second, calmly remarked, "Well, my daughter just ran straight into a wall," and continued to tell us about the structure of proteins. My mom made me a pan of brownies for my birthday, and my son insisted on carrying them on the way home. Got back and somehow they ended up with a giant footprint in them. When I was a young child, approximately 6 to 7, I had invited my friend to a sleepover at my house before I would move away in a few weeks. We had an awesome time. However, that would soon change. I had decided to show her a tour of the woods in my backyard. We walked for a while until I realized we are lost. I tried to find the way out, and she started building a house out of leaves. We made it home, and according to my mom, she could literally see us. When I was 5-year-old, I played with invisible monsters. These were my imaginary friends who would protect me as I walked around holding their hand. Neighbor kid wanted one, so he traded me his Tonka truck for one of my invisible monsters. Mom made me give the Tonka truck back. Neighbor kid was heartbroken, because then he had to give the invisible monster back. My mother is a university instructor, and when I was a kid at night she would tell me go to bed, because she had to do some grading. I always assumed that she meant grating as in grating cheese, so I would go to bed excited for all the cheese I would be getting in the morning. I pictured her in the kitchen with just mountains of cheese around her. I never got the grated cheese in the morning, but I also never questioned the fact that it wasn't there. In 7th grade, a boy asked me to be his girlfriend and I wasn't sure I heard him correctly, so I panicked and just said yes, and then he high-fived me and we never spoke again. Jamal, if you're out there, happy 11-year anniversary. When I was like 9 or 10, I didn't know what to do for April Fools, so I ran up to my mom and told her a plane crashed in Times Square. When I was younger, instead of saying I'm hungry, I would say I need to be neutered, because I thought it meant I needed nutrients. Sorry. When I was 12, I tried to cheat at poker by pulling some cards out of a nearby deck when nobody was looking. I grabbed 3 kings and put them in my hand, discreetly hiding the cards I was replacing. So then there I was, holding out my 5 cards. 3 with red backs, 2 with blue backs. 3-year-old wants an RC car for birthday. I said Christmas. Demands birthday because Christmas is too far. Her birthday was a month ago. On this day, 10 years ago, had to gently but quickly correct my son after he informed me that people yell hole when playing golf. Thanks goodness I got to him before we took him to play golf. My 10-year-old brother is stupid as hell. Password hint. It's Sadman with an I instead of a 1. My son, who loves YouTube, seems to think that please subscribe to my channel is a parting phrase. When he leaves kindergarten or his grandma he says please subscribe to my channel, which puts off everyone around him. Best place to put the Switch to charge. A good mate of mine had the following interaction with his daughter while I was chilling in his house. Daughter, when I grow up, can I marry a boy? Dad, yep when you're old enough. Daughter, can I marry a girl? Dad, yep when you're old enough. Daughter, can I marry Soup? Dad, no. Daughter runs off crying. My mate just looks at me and says in utter confusion, she doesn't even like Soup. Dad, isn't it weird that the word chicken can mean an animal or a type of food? My kid, on the verge of making a horrific realization. Watching my toddler go through the 5 stages of grief over his banana breaking in half. I'm dying right now because my 5-year-old just told me that he thinks you go to the police station to buy donuts. My little sister found out one of her Pokemon cards was fake, but instead of throwing it away, she decided eating it was the best way to get rid of it.